average is not invited. Not if you're holding your company off-site in Las Vegas. We aren't on friendly terms with the bare minimum, and unenthusiastic is uninvited. Las Vegas's creative energy and world-class hospitality want to bring your company off-site to crazy new heights. That's why fear-based leadership is afraid of Vegas, and boring won't be there, but it will be watching the meeting recordings later. Plan for the extraordinary at vegasmeansbusiness.com.
Now we have to establish Nexus. Now we have to pay another state for their income taxes and all these things. So that drives up. And he used to say, can we not find talent here? Welcome back, folks. This is episode 143. We're going to talk about hybrid work models because it's my favorite subject and how that impacts payroll. Oh, I'm always on the controversy with hybrid versus non-hybrid, and everybody's forcing everybody back to work right now. Before we get into the main topic, how you doing today, sir?
Doing well, man. It's another day. January's almost done.
Oh, my goodness. I'm already talking about next payrolls in February. People sending stuff. I'm like, yeah, next payroll, February. Like, wow. Oh, and it happens. Yeah. Valentine's Day coming up. Everything
all over again, man.
Well, it moves so quick, man. I think that's why you just got to do the whole New Year. This is why one of the reasons why I don't like New Year, New Me, because just change when you're ready to change. Time is going to fly by. If you don't hit it now, what are you going to wait till next year to start over again? No, wait till next Tuesday.
I agree with you in a lot of ways with that. And whatever a person needs to do for them in order to make that change, if it's the New Year, New Me thing until it finally sticks, so be it. But you're right. Because look, change is hard, right?
Yes.
Because I can start working out today and I'll work out for 2.5 weeks. And then that third week comes and I'm just like, I fall off. You know what I'm saying? And that's the test of time. Like, how committed are you going to be? What's that saying? Like, it takes 21 days or something to become a habit?
I was just going to say, how many days? Yep. Because you say that a lot to us and it's sticking, right? It sticks with me. And to build that habit, there's another one I'm out there, like how to be like so many hours to become an expert at something. Look, and that's why Walt had proposed this fitness challenge that we're doing, financial, and I mean we are trying to do. It's just a better us every day. Anywho, Walt proposed this financial fitness challenge for a show topic, and I said, how about let's make it a segment and we talk about it every show. We show our progress, we see how we're going. And he agreed, and boom, we're doing it. So we're introducing it on this show as well. We'll still keep pay news in the mix and stuff. And we're right in this moment, we're introducing this, a fun way to boost your savings. We're going to participate in a savings challenge over forever. If it's all right with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And look at some of the ways that we're already implementing that. I'm going to just get right into it about what I'm
go for it. Yes.
I'm a creative, right? And so lots of times I make different beats on GarageBand and music and different things like that.
Walt got a SoundCloud, guys. Go check out his SoundCloud called Black Rock. No.
Black Rock. Oh, that's something else. But no, like I decided, you know what? Why not just build my savings through using the creative gifts that I have and just starting a side hustle with that. You know what I'm saying? Like lots of people may think this is a side hustle. No, this is like our thing. You know what I'm saying? And like me selling my music online, it might be a way to boost some savings and get some residual income or passive income in. And I like doing it. So what about you? What are you doing, Brian?
I'm investing. I'm going to take a few bucks every time I get paid and put it into Robinhood. I had done Robinhood before, and it could be other apps, folks. There's a bunch of them now that are fine. I don't think they're any different of each other. Look out for fees and how they charge you. I think that's the biggest difference. But I'm going to take a few bucks every time I get paid and every time when I have some money. And man, I saw a guy. Did you send me the link? Yeah, you sent it. Somebody took their Starbucks money every day.
$5 a day. Yep.
Instead of buying Starbucks and investing in Starbucks stock. And it kind of showed you, I don't know if it's true or not, but it's definitely the concept is right. Yeah. Like how much his money went up because he was investing in stock and not buying Starbucks. I was just telling my mom today about, we were doing the math, talking about savings on coffee, right? Yep. I already do that. And that was a result of this type of challenge that we're doing. So part of the challenge, we're going to look back at our spending
Yep.
and say, okay, how can we save for money that we were already spending?
Yep.
And then we'll add it on to that and say, how can we start another side hustle? Because this is it's a side hustle, but it's kind of just an extension of our job. We're just
Yep.
talking work and helping folks out in the meantime.
Yep. Yep.
And it so yeah. So anyway, we were doing math and whatnot, and I did the math for her, like what, like $5 a day on coffee. Let's say people buy
Yep.
2 cups, and it was like a few $1,000s a year
Yep.
in coffee.
Yep.
And boom, wait, what if you add lunch? What if they add? She's like, wait, what if you bought lunch every day? I was like, oh, you up to 10 grand a year.
Yep.
If you bought 2 Starbucks coffees and buy lunch every day, not even every day. I did 5 days a week,
Yeah.
weekdays.
Yeah.
It's $10,000 a year.
You remember that? Yeah. That goes back into that episode that we did a long time ago for IAYP when we talked about how people spend how much they spend per day,
Yes.
especially when they have
Yes.
to travel for
Yep.
work, and if they
That's right.
have pets and stuff like that, and around that same amount. Remember?
Yes.
All those
Yes.
different factors factored into it, and we were just
Yep.
like, man, $10,000 and up, you
Easy.
would
Yeah.
have to, yeah.
Easy. Forget about it. If you have to board your pet every day,
Oh my god, yeah,
you're in the thousands just for that. Daycare for children, not that's an option, but it brings up that whole, oh, parent might. Anywho, but
bring your
anyway,
kid to work
folks,
every day.
if you, some people can, but anywho, back to the financial challenge. That's what we're doing. We're going to report on our progress every week. And this
Mhm.
week so far, I've already saved in DoorDash because I had a subscription to DoorDash, but
Nice.
I don't use it anymore, right? Because there was a moment where I was using it and then, I don't know, just fell off, stopped using it. I saw my subscription hit, like I was looking back at
Mhm.
my expenses, starting to look back on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, I don't even use DoorDash like that anymore. And what I've done at home is when we want to eat out, I'll go get it. I'll call
Yep.
it in, old school. I'll call it
Yep.
in and go get it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
save so much money. Yes, it's convenient, but you're paying for that convenience. I like what you said about Uber Eats, how you find like the deals and the buy one, get one,
Buy
and then
one, get one.
you'll
Yep.
extend your meals and
Yep.
whatnot. And now you got lunch or dinner for the next day. That's the type of things we're talking about and we're challenging ourselves to do because we want to level up. We want to take
Yep.
more and invest into building this business, building new businesses. That's just who we are, right? You could do it to get a vacation or whatever you're saving for. Some folks are not everybody's rich, clearly. Most, what is it, like 70 to 80% of Americans, us, live paycheck to paycheck. The Trump, what do they call it? When he's in office, the Trump
Administration.
administration and his time there. That's the word I'm trying to look for that word, but I can't think of it. But anyway, the Trump administration promises to kind of boost the economy
Mhm.
and stocks are gonna go up. Hey, let's take advantage of that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Little by
Yeah.
little, let's all take advantage. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, these are
Yep.
little things that we could help with. If you're a payroll professional, it's no different, right? That's one of the things that we're taking from the other show and just kind of bringing it over here because we talk about paycheck there and it still applies to us as payroll pros. Yeah. Oh, and the other thing is for our business, for the AI, because Walt and I are trying out all the
Yeah.
AI, like
Yes.
all the
Yes.
AI.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
trying it all out. But as we talk about new things and as the AI develops, we
Yep.
see some stuff that we're already using has new features,
Yep.
and
Yep.
we can leverage that and then not trash, but not subscribe to the other ones that so we're saving there and we're
Yep.
saving with DoorDash. Personally, DoorDash, business wise, we're saving with AI. We're making those choices and little things
Look.
like that. Like,
Yeah. Because
yeah,
look, we tried in video. For some of you out there that may know some of that to create different content and everything. We tried that, and that was like 20, $30 a month, and signed up for that. And then I think we have some other different AI tools and stuff that we were just like, oh man, like maybe we don't
video.
need this right now.
No, that's a good point. Let's call it out because folks need tools, right? We use
Yeah.
video AI, which is now Kuso.ai. Use that for our clips. So if those of you who see our clips out there, oh yeah, these guys are always posting clips. Yes, because
Yep.
we use AI to help.
Yeah.
And
For now.
oh my gosh, generating great videos. And now we could do commercials probably without people like having to hire actors. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just changing the game for content creators
Yeah.
and folks like us that are doing it bootstrap. And shout out to TimeTrakGO who helps us produce and do these things as one of our sponsors. Shout out to Bamboo HR, who's coming
Yeah.
on as a new partner in our work defined network.
Yep.
So all these things, man, but again, we're bootstrapping things. We need to be lean, mean, and watch the cash register.
And look, we challenge you, some of you that are listening, right? Some inventory and
Yeah.
see where you can save. And
Yep.
personally, and if you're in charge of the cash register, as Brian was speaking to,
Yeah.
at your job, maybe you can save it in a different way at your job too.
Yeah. Oh, if you as a payroll person, and that's something new, and as we segue into payroll, that's something new that I've kind of take. How can I say we've always done it, right? We as payroll pros
Mhm.
save our company's money, but we don't quantify it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did an exercise over the holiday break to say, how much have I saved companies over the years, different companies doing different projects? Bro, I got into the millions
Yeah.
just in
Wow.
things. Yep. Now I don't get paid for that. Like oh, Brian, actually, you know what? I did have a boss that did reward me for helping to safeguard and save money. So I did get paid for it and I didn't expect it. That's
Yeah.
one of the concepts that we're talking about recently too. Personally, with my mom, I was like, when you do things for folks, you can't do it expecting something back,
Yeah.
right? Doing a good job at work, you shouldn't do it like, oh, I'm going to get above and beyond. No, you do a good
Yeah.
job at work to get your pay and
Yep.
being I don't know how to motivate folks to do more, to go above and beyond for no promise of no money, but you're going to get rewarded somehow, whether it be that the fact that you realize, wait a minute, I can go and
Mhm.
build something on the side because I do
Yep.
this now and I'm great. Believe me, you do great for your job. Somebody's going to be watching. And guess what? If they don't, go find a job that will. Go
Yeah.
find a job that believes in meritocracy.
Yes, bro.
Meritocracy, a new word I learned. It's just
Yeah.
basically incentivizing, right? Go get a
Yes.
job that rewards you in some way for
Yep.
being great.
No, that's a good point, man. And look,
We're talking to
no, before we get into the main topic, which is hybrid work models and payroll adjustments for those, let's pay the
Let's pay the
bills, bro.
bills. Pay the bills. Shout out to
So look,
TimeTrakGO.
yeah, shout out. So as we're setting ambitious goals for 2025, we want to remember that a well-organized team is the foundation for success. So in 2025, streamline your business operations with TimeTrakGO. They have a user-friendly time tracking software that empowers you to get organized. And look, in payroll and HR, that is important for us to stay
Yeah.
organized, right?
Oh yeah.
So say goodbye to those messy spreadsheets and inaccurate time entries. Effortlessly track employee hours with their user-friendly time clock. Streamline those time off requests and approvals with their intuitive system. And then you can automate vacation and sick leave policies as well.
Awesome. Ready to make your 2025 your most productive year yet? Because we are. You see, we're amped. We're excited about these
Yeah.
new things we're doing for the new year. Sign up for a fee trial. No, a free trial, not a fee. A free trial at TimeTrakGO today and experience the difference. And in just minutes, you can increase your productivity, reduce payroll errors, name of the game for us, improve employee satisfaction, and more time to focus on what matters for you, whether it be being able to not work overtime days and just
Savings, like we were just talking about.
savings, taking a normal lunch break. Cause I know
Yeah.
payroll folks, we have to work extended days. We got to work through lunch. We got to eat at our desk. Look,
Yep.
if you don't have a good time track system, get it. Talk to our people over at TimeTrakGO and they'll get you right. They have great customer service. There's this guy named Brian there. No joke. There's another Brian. And he's real good too. And he's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Don't let time tracking bog you down and become a burden. Let TimeTrakGO simplify your life and help you achieve your goals in 2025. And visit TimeTrakGO.com. That is WTIMETRAKGO.com. One more time, it's W, because I feel like I can't spell right sometimes. TimeTrakGO.com. Let's go.
Let's go. All right.
All
So
right.
let's get into it, man. We're talking about hybrid work models and payroll adjustments.
Yes. And what I just thought, it just hit me. I got moved to share this while we were
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
through things, right? One of the things that I'm trying to be real intentional about is staying organized while processing, right? While we're processing payroll, staying the way you save your files, the way you label your
Yes.
files,
Yes.
the steps that you take to get things done, the
Yes.
SOPs that you build, the checklists that you build, the communications, the thing, however the tool, all those little things that help you get there. I'm starting to build things in preparation for audits that come because the auditors are coming and they're like, wait, we want this and that and a third. Dang, wait a minute. I need to save it like this so that when
Yeah.
auditors come, boom, you're just shuffling out. You're not having to dig through, right? I know. Look, I
Yeah.
know you got something to say. I know, right?
No, it's so important, right? And it's something that even in 2025 that I want to do now with my current team because you and I worked at this place that I'm currently at now, and
Hmm.
we know that there's so many different folders for so many
Yes,
different things,
yes. It's
payroll,
everywhere. Don't then,
HR,
hey, don't
right?
feel singled out. Companies like it
Yeah.
all everywhere. It's
So
everywhere.
so we have to, and look, this happens, right? And it
Yep,
happens when you're in the middle of things. You have so many hands in the pot,
yep,
so many chefs in the kitchen, and you're saving things here, saving things there. So one of the things that my team and I are going to work on after our implementation is done is to get more organized, to
yes,
save different things, to like you were saying, label it correctly or whatever we have to
yes,
do. We save a lot of things on in an encrypted share file, right? But
yes.
just because it's saved in that encrypted share file doesn't
You
mean
got a
it's
million
organized,
folders,
right?
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, that's
So
my point.
yep,
You get too many folders, and that every oh no, it's saved, is there, is there. It's like how same thing in your home, right? You may
mhm,
have your garages, you may know where everything is, but ain't nothing organized. It's a mess. Is the same way we'll treat our folders digitally and things like that.
yeah. So
Just
look,
once, right?
yeah, it's a good call out because you can have a folder that says reporting, and
Oh
then you have
gosh,
another folder that says audits, and you have another folder that says results and stuff like that, and then you could just like combine that or consolidate that and just organize it and make it
yep,
a little nicer, right?
yep. I'll tell you my little bad habit before I get into my talking points. My
Mhm.
bad habit was I would do just that. I would dump it all into one folder and be like, "No, I have it. I'm good." Man,
Yeah,
when you gotta go find
yeah,
stuff and you don't have it separated properly, and then man, it's a mess. So
yeah,
that's what I'm being really more intentional about. Is like how it's not about the goal; it's how you get there. Right? It's not only the fact that you
yeah.
nailed your payroll and you got a good payroll. It's how you got there because people are gonna want backup. They're gonna
So
need to see different things. Go ahead.
we should do an episode on that, on how
Absolutely.
best practices to get organized
Ooh,
for payroll.
I feel like Fran. Remember Franzioli?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah,
Fran is good with organizing because when she nailed it with all her audits and things, maybe we could have
yep,
her back on to help us with that one.
yep.
But
Sounds
yeah,
good.
let's do
Let's get
that.
into it.
Let's get into it. So we're talking about hybrid. We rip from the headlines type of thing because it's
Yeah.
the government just forced people back into the office now. But
Mhm.
what's another company? Oh, Spotify.
Yep.
Spotify kind of flies in the face of that and says our employees aren't children, right?
Mhm.
They can work from home. And look, at the end of the day, some companies can do that. Some companies
Mhm.
can't. Some companies don't want to. It comes down to different things, ideologies. How do you build a team if it's remote, and how do
Mhm.
you have good ideas? And look, to each his own, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But to the companies that do have remote or hybrid, I think these are some of the challenges as payroll people that we have to be mindful of for working as we work at those companies is time tracking and overtime for hourly employees.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do they time track? Are they being honest? How do you hold them accountable? What's up?
Well, can I come make a call out here?
Yeah, of
Because
course.
if you track your salaried hours too, even though you technically probably don't have to, but that might be an issue too.
Oh,
Because
heck
some
yeah.
companies
That
do.
brings up a whole nother
Yeah.
bag of worms things. If you're tracking salaried folks, that may be good for the salary people, but not good for the company. Yeah. For real. So be careful with that. If you're part of companies that do that, be careful. And in retail, a lot of companies do it for labor because they
Mhm.
want to see how to apply labor. If you have retail locations or things like that, you want to really track labor. What's up?
Yeah. I work for places that were in different industries, and they tracked it because they wanted to keep people honest. You
Yeah.
know, they found out people were stealing time too. Yeah, so
And that's gonna show. I think
yeah.
look, I think if your managers are on kinda has a good grasp of their teams, that's
Mhm.
you're gonna be able to weed out the bad apples, right?
Nice, nice.
But I think that as far as payroll, time tracking might be a challenge.
Yeah,
Overtime, you don't want look, you can't have overloaded overtime because it's so easy to work a lot from home.
yeah.
And if your hourly is, oh no, yeah, I'm working overtime. No, but you can. You got to
Or yeah,
budget. If you have to work overtime so much, is a different problem at hand, and is a labor issue there, and that you got to talk about a different way. One of the things for salary folks, tracking or not, is the danger of burnout, right? If you're a salaried employee and that's a statistic that they always report on, people who work from home a lot, they tend to burn out because they just feel like they have to work more. Even
yeah.
the PTO has gone down for people who work remotely because they feel like, oh, I
Mhm.
can't take time off. So just kind of watch out for that. If you are tracking salary folk, be careful with that as well. Make sure you're
Yeah,
documenting why you're
yeah,
doing it.
Hey, it's Bob Pulver, host to podcast. Human centric AI, AI driven transformation, hiring for skills and potential, dynamic workforce ecosystems, responsible innovation. These are some of the themes my expert guests and I chat about, and we certainly geek out on the details. Nothing too technical. I hope you check it out.
And then another call out for payroll folks is compliance. It's okay, if you do have a remote workforce, multi-states, is it there, but where are you taxing them? Is it business nexus on the home office or is it a nexus in that state? So you have to
mhm.
look at the compliance of how that plays out and how they're getting taxed, registering in those states. I remember, and this was before, this one that was at Columbia in New York. Was it Columbia? Yeah, Columbia, New York. Before even remote came a thing, they love to hire professors all over the world
Yeah,
and or over the country. And our controller was very mindful of the financial impact that this caused because you can't just hire someone if we're not in that state. Now we have to establish Nexus. Now we
yeah.
have to pay another state for their income taxes and all these things. So that
Mhm.
drives up. And he used to say, can we not find talent here and this was in New York at Columbia? Can we not find the talent we need here? Do we have to go in the other state? The answer may have been yes, but he at least posed that he created the friction enough
Yeah.
to just,
Some people feel that way about relationships. Can I not find talent here?
yo, you are hilarious. Okay, before I pass it off to Walt, minimum wage is also something
Mhm.
because if you're in one state and your employee's in another state, oh gosh, what if you hire somebody in California and you are in a state that can default to minimum wage of 7.25 and you're in
Mhm.
California and they're at 18.25?
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Now that's their minimum wage because they live in Santa Bonita and you're like, what?
yeah,
Holy moly. California, by the way, payroll folks, is by city, by county. So you have to break it down. It's not just the state minimum wage. You got to go county by county, city by city, and compare off what's more beneficial for the employee. And that's what you
yeah.
default to. Be careful with that part. And then the last part for me is technology support. I mean, I feel like companies who are remote or hybrid have solved for that because post
Mm,
pandemic. But hey, maybe you're a new company thinking, you know what? Your lease is up. I'm going to send some folks home. I'm going to get a smaller
yeah,
footprint because that's me and Walt's like feeling on it. Like when we get to the point where we're on our own, building our own business and company or on our own basically, and we're building a team, we want to be 100% remote and use those savings to kind of get us together once a quarter at a fun place all over the world,
yeah,
right? New places
yeah,
every time. Like that for me is way better than a fancy office high in the sky. You know
yeah.
what I mean? But it's all preference. It's all, please, folks, we're not intending to disrespect anybody. It's just you do you. You're a business owner. You get to make that call. But you have to think about the technology you have. If you want to go hybrid, I mean, yeah, hybrid or remote, everything has to be in the cloud and it has to be secure. We're payroll people. So it has to be encrypted, secure in the cloud.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I got. What you got, man?
Brian stole some of my stuff.
I know, I'm sorry, but you had a
So
lot, so I figured
yeah,
you
stole
would
some of my
still
stuff.
find plenty.
I got a few things, and I have some stats here as well to go over and
I
stuff like
saw
that.
that,
So,
see?
and look, definitely the key thing is that as hybrid models become more widespread, the way we handle payroll needs to evolve, right? It needs to change, and we need to adjust different things that we're doing, right? So, look, number one, I'm going to talk about the rise of hybrid models, right? So, the shift to hybrid is a new way of working, right? So there was a Gallup survey out there that said 54% of US workers reported that they would prefer to work hybrid or remote.
Absolutely.
And that's a stark increase from the pre-pandemic times, right?
Yep.
So again, the pandemic changed things, right? So
Yes.
a lot of employees with the hybrid model, they want to split that time between the office and remote work because they built their life around that. They built their
Yes.
life around to go drop off the kids on this day or pick up the kids on that day. And whatever their setup is in life, they built their life around that. And they want their job to be built into that too. So
Well, I'm sorry, let me cut you off and ask you a question. You're 100% remote. What do you prefer?
I think I'm a loner
So
anyway.
you thrive.
So I'm
I
okay.
actually know the answer to it because I know you thrive in it, but for the folks.
Yeah, I'm okay. I do want to meet a lot of people that I work with, and I haven't met them yet. And I
Okay.
plan to reach out to some of them that are in Georgia. There was an
Nice.
opportunity that I had, but I got sick, and so I wasn't able to go.
Next time, yeah.
And one of my employees, I haven't met her yet.
Oh,
You know,
dang.
yeah,
Oh, yay,
it's
West
been like 3
Coast.
years. Yeah, it's been like 3
West
years.
Side. I don't know how to do it.
You
Yeah.
know, the okay size
I
over
know.
here.
I don't throw West Side. I'm just trying
Uh,
to do West Side.
yeah, that part I definitely want to connect because I have that closest with my employee and everything. And it's been 3 years, and she's kind of my right hand, and it's just a shame I haven't been able to meet her yet.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Sorry to cut
So,
you off. I was just curious your personal.
nah, you're good. One of the other key considerations when it comes to location-based compensation is that a lot of companies are revisiting how they structure salaries, right? Because they're now
Ooh.
basing it on the location of employees.
Yep.
If like the company may be in New York and
Mhm.
have a higher pay,
Mhm.
but I live in Utah or
Yep.
some place like that, or Wyoming or something, and
Yep.
they may base my salary based on where I live.
Yep. Cost of living where you are.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it said that there's a survey out there from Mercer in 2023. It said that almost 60% of companies are making that adjustment based on location. Is right.
Wow.
Again, that's just how companies are adjusting to this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And payroll folks gotta be they're one first of all, they're part of that, helping to either give the data, adjusting the salaries, reporting
Hmm.
back, helping out with the processing, helping out with the whole that switch over, and probably getting beat up. It ain't payroll's fault. Don't blame your payroll manager or your payroll
I mean,
professional because that we're not making that decision. That's leadership. We're soldiers in all this and carry out orders, really.
yeah, and so leads to the next thing here. Perfect segue into it is about tracking and paying those remote workers, similar to what you were talking about. And payroll needs systems that are going to accommodate for remote work or hybrid work, and which means accurately tracking those hours, whether they're in the office or at home, right? And there was an ADP report that revealed that 51% of employers believe that tracking remote employee hours is one of the biggest challenges they faced when transitioning to those hybrid models.
But see, I'm glad you said that's exactly what I wanted to zero in on. Transitioning to a hybrid model. If
Mhm.
you already know, if your employee and if they're hourly, I mean, if their salary is less to worry about because your salary, it.
Yeah.
But if you're hourly and you're going from in office to hybrid,
This episode is brought to you by Global X. Since 2008, Global X ETFs has been committed to empowering investors with unexplored, intelligent solutions. Global X specializes in exchange-traded funds that offer exposure to the artificial intelligence ecosystem, including themes like data centers, robotics, semiconductors, and cloud computing. To learn more about Global X's entire suite of ETFs, from covered calls, fixed income, emerging markets, and more, visit globalxetfs.com.
Their managers should just, and payroll will help with this, right? Given hours worked over look back at the last year. What are
Mhm.
they averaging every payroll? If they already had a lot of overtime, then you probably can expect the same trends. Now, if you
Yeah.
start trending up as they go home or hybrid, then you know something's off, right?
Yeah, that's something to look at, and in my mind, I was just thinking about this when you were talking. What if you notice that when they're at home, they usually even if it's not really overtime, but they get their 8 hours when they're working at
Mhm.
home. It could be vice versa, right? But when they're in the office, they may clock in a little late, they may clock out a little early, and that may be a difference that you see. That could be one of the different metrics that you measure
Yeah.
as a company
Yeah.
too, to say, "Okay, what's the difference between their hours when they're at home versus when they're in the office? Are they the same, like you were saying? Are they more egregious when they're at home or whatever it is?" And so I think a lot of companies have challenges. It's just, okay, hey, when you're at home, your laptop seems to be dormant or whatever.
We
And some
don't
of the
see
place,
any activity
yeah,
from 12 to 2.
yeah. And so look, that goes on to my next one is about navigating compliance, like you were saying, right? One of the things that I had here was about California, like you mentioned, but it was about the meal breaks. So if you have an employee that lives in California, even though they work for a company in Texas, you have to abide by those meal break laws because that employee sits in California.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that.
yeah, yeah,
Wait, but it is oh, ooh, I didn't even think about that's a
yeah.
good one. It's a
Mm,
good one. Nevada, I just learned Nevada's overtime law. They have a daily one. They have a daily overtime for folks who make under a certain dollar amount,
mhm.
right? And they have a within 24-hour one. If you work in two
Yeah,
shifts
yeah,
within 24-hour one, again, it only applies to folks working under a certain dollar amount. So I like that because hey, look, we can't give you more money, but we're gonna look out for you real good.
yeah,
Again, payroll folks, if you're in Nevada, I hope you know that. I'm new into Nevada, so it wasn't like I was doing it wrong, and I just kind of learned that as I stepped into a new role, and I learned it. And I was like, "Ooh, wow,
yeah,
this is great." I love learning new things, and it's just so exciting for payroll because we can. There's so much for us to learn. Anywho, yeah,
yeah.
that's a
And
great call out.
and then another stat here, mind you, this is from 2022, so this percentage may have changed and may have gone up or down. But
Okay,
PwC put out a global workforce survey, and they said about 60% of employees said that employers or companies are still working to standardize and streamline their payroll processes across different locations to ensure compliance. Because imagine, like, we're talking about US payroll. We haven't even really touched on the global aspect. Have my company is in England or the UK, but I sit in Paris or the Netherlands or somewhere different. How does that work over there?
yep,
And next thing is equity and fairness in hybrid models. A major
yep.
challenge could be ensuring that there's equity and compensation about across both in office and remote workers, right? There's an increasing demand for fair treatment regarding pay and benefits and opportunities for career advancement. There was a 2023 Work Human report that revealed that 61% of employees believe that pay equity is an important issue when it comes to hybrid work, and that the disparities in pay due to location or work mode, which is the remote or versus in office, can erode trust in an organization.
That's a good one. I didn't think of. I mean, I think the easy thing is just regardless of what they are, yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess it's not that easy, but remote or not,
Well, well,
somebody doing the job and the place, it should be based on where you live.
Well,
I
think
don't know.
about it. So maybe some of those employees that took part of that report may have worked for somebody who was a stickler for wanting people to come back in office, return to office, RTO, and they were like harder on the people that were in a hybrid model versus the people that came into the office every day. And I'm sure this has been it might be limited to some certain people. I'm not saying that everybody's doing that or it's widespread. That
Yeah,
could be
no,
an
I get it.
example of something that somebody experienced based on this report.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is something that you talked about too is about technology and leveraging that for payroll adjustments and how we should use cloud-based payroll platforms for the time tracking, AI-powered solutions, and helping payroll pros streamline payroll, right?
No
And
doubt.
ensure that everyone's paid timely and fairly, no
Yeah.
matter where they work. And then the last stat I have is according to Gartner, 45% of payroll departments have increased their use of automation tools in the past 18
Heck
months.
yeah.
And that almost 75% plan to continue doing so. Yeah, you have to,
Absolutely. You
right?
have to. Yeah, you have to do it. It just makes sense to. They're
Yeah,
tools, right?
yeah.
I actually, me and Walter supporting a series that we do, and we just kind of, I was telling folks Chat GPT for payroll.
Yep.
Check out our partners, Career Learning, and the great things they're doing. And I just use ChatGPT, the paid version. I don't know how
Mhm.
the free version works anymore. I've had the paid version for the $20 a month, nothing crazy.
Yep.
But just like how we were talking about the AI saturation, that's another one that we're going to compare and contrast on our other tools to see if it's still worth it and
Mhm.
does something else do it as good as another. But
Yeah.
anywho, I did ChatGPT, I believe the advanced reasoning model, and I was using it for compliance check, and I wanted it to put the compliance for me together. I had every intention, and I did cross check it against the states, but it
Uh-huh.
makes it a little easier to see and it was spot on, by the way. And I even told it to break down California for me by county or city
Right.
and what, and it was spot on. I was double checking where I needed to and pressure checking, and it was good, man. For payroll folk, I used it to write a communication that I needed, and the key to it is becoming a good prompt engineer. I mean, I think engineer
Yeah.
is a big word, a good prompt person, good
Yes.
at prompts, right? Because
Yeah.
engineers, come on, let's get crazy. Let's not get crazy here. So yeah, I think that's a layup, like payroll folk and the folks I was talking to on the webinar was like, "Oh man, this is dang, yeah,
Yeah.
this is right." And somebody had been recently promoted and they were like, "You know what? I'm going to invest in this on my own because it's
Yeah.
worth it for me." Absolutely. Invest in yourself, as we always say on this show, as far as anything you need to be better. One thing I want to throw out there, you were talking about stats and things. Please go check out our colleague Pete Tiliakos. He is doing once again the payroll confidence survey this year.
Mhm.
And he surveys payroll professionals and he puts out the report back to the public for how payroll professionals are feeling about things. Me and you got to take it, Walt.
Mhm.
As
Yeah.
we talk about it, it's open till March 30th, I believe. Pete's coming on the show, but Pete, I'm ahead of you, bro. I got you, man. I got your back, and I'll keep mentioning it until I think we're gonna have him on beginning of March, and the survey closes from March 30th, I believe he said.
Okay.
And he needs all of us payroll pros to go take the survey to continue. Listen, he's like an advocate. He goes against the big guys, the big payroll
Mhm.
softwares, and pushes them to do better, be better, and deliver better products for us. So shout out to Pete Tiliakos. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I got your back. We love,
Yeah.
go check out his survey. Please go be a part. We got it. We got to do it. You do it. We're all gonna do it. Yeah, man. It's a great show. We only went a little over. What else, man? We got everything.
So the last thing is the question of the day, right? How are you, sir, addressing the challenge of ensuring equitable pay and compliance in a hybrid work model?
Yeah, I'm not doing anything for this yet. It's a great question. And I thought about what was I thinking about as we were saying this?
Do you have employees where you're at now?
Yeah, we're hybrid. Yeah, the office I'm in
Hybrid.
now is hybrid. We work home, we're 3-2.
Mhm.
And yeah, folks still, we have a beautiful space. And people still go in sometimes, 4-1, whatever. You busy, you got to go in. Sometimes you have
Yeah.
little ones at home. And because there's times when my little one is home from school and I'm like, I should have went to the office because bless her heart, and I love but it's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
get time with her when she's still small. I get time with my
Mhm.
kids and exposure
That
to
right
them that
there.
I would have never had before.
How
That
many
means
other
a lot.
people feel like that?
Exactly.
And that's why they
Exactly.
say, hey, I need to harness that. And me just being home, those extra the extra day or two.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
game
it
changer
means
for
a
me.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a game changer. Ensure equitable pay and compliance are higher. Look, I didn't even realize that folks were being
Hey, this is Brent Skinner, host of Small Talk Window here at the Work Defined Podcasting Network. Have you ever wanted a short podcast to listen to during a coffee break of your workday? You've come to the right place. My guests dispense with the small talk as quickly as possible and settle into a meaningful conversation around the world of work.
if that's happening, you paying price different, paid different. If you're in the same town, in the same, oh, I'm gonna pay you this if you come into the office and that if you stay home.
Not
The only
necessarily that, but go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say because the only thing that you could legitimately argue is, hey, I'm saving you on the commute, so we're gonna pay you a little bit less because of that.
Yeah.
That's the only legit
That's a
because
good call out though. Yeah.
that's the only thing. Because if we're the same professional, we got the same skill set, same tenure, same experience, and oh, I'm just gonna reward people that come in because that's how it is. What? Nah,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. So if there's favoritism and there's different like that's kind of how I meant it
Right?
when
No,
I
and
made the
I know.
statement. It is just
Yeah,
like I think
that's whack.
yeah, that'd be really whack. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And I think that you have to navigate it as you can. And look, if you're in a hybrid work model, whether you're in a global scale or in the United States or whatever, like tell us what you're doing
Oh, reach
to
out. Yeah.
yeah, to stick in that
Definitely.
hybrid work model and make sure there's equity in regards to pay and stuff like that. Like or tell us an experience if you're not scared to say about it, if you're not gonna
Oh no,
burn
we
your
do it
bridges.
anonymous.
Yeah,
Hit us on the inboxes on LinkedIn. You could say, hey, I want to anonymous share this story about. We do anonymous all the time. A lot of folks are
yeah,
scared to share info with us because no, we're not gonna call you out or anything like.
yeah.
What we do is empower, right? We love empowering other payroll pros to be better. Give you
Yeah,
a little bit of nugget, little something to help you get better.
yeah.
We
Brian ate your lunch, don't use his
they
name.
don't use my name because I'll eat your lunch.
No, he won't.
No, you're right. I won't.
He won't, no, he won't.
Ah, you're right. And you gotta check out the potluck. Everybody in
Yeah,
the fam loved the potluck episode we did.
really? Nice,
Yes, yes. They see the
nice,
clips
bro.
and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you had us laughing with that and this, that." Dude,
Yeah,
so,
bro.
that was and I was like, "You know the show's about payroll, right? Like, we
It's about to pay.
it's
Check,
about to pay, goddamn, not
check.
potluck."
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man.
Anywho, we love you folks. See you
Alright.
next time. We're gonna get into some good stuff. We're gonna start talking about the next few shows. I think is manual checks, 26 verse
Mhm,
24. Folks we didn't do 12. Not a lot of people do 12, meaning pay frequency, right? We're gonna talk about pay
mhm.
frequencies. That's the only ones I remember. But yeah, Pete, we're gonna have Pete on soon.
Yep,
I'm gonna have a friend of mine on that's talking about challenging with nursing and
yep,
how complicated his pay stub is. So that might be a crossover episode. We'll share on both.
yep.
Yeah, more to come, folks. We got plenty of things on the horizon. We're looking forward to 2025. Check us out on Career Learning. Check us out there on LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok. Where else we at?
Check us
Yeah, it's
out everywhere.
YouTube, everywhere podcasts are heard.
Yeah.
YouTube podcasts. We're all over the place. Listen to
Mhm.
Payroll, listen to Paycheck. We got you. We got you
Yes, we
covered.
do.
All right,
Alright,
folks.
y'all.
Oh, and share, please. And share.
Spread the word.
Spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend. All right,
Alright,
peace. I love you.
peace.
Before we sign off, here are a couple quick things. Don't forget to follow It's About Payroll on LinkedIn and It's About Your Paycheck on Facebook and TikTok.
Thank you for being part of our payroll community, and thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.